Very good morning to all our viewers. From whichever the part of the world you may be joining us, we are coming to you live from the Rangiridambulla International Cricket Stadium. It's a sunny morning and you couldn't have asked for better playing conditions. Well, this is the game that we are looking at. The Sri Lankan Women's A team taking on the New Zealand Women's A team for the third T20. Yes, the weather conditions looks good. Let's take a closer look at how it looks today. It's bright and sunny. There is a slight breeze that is going across the ground, but I could promise you that we are going to have a full days of cricket looking at the weather predictions. Well, yes, the Sri Lankans have won the first two T20 games and they're pretty much done and dust with the series. But it's a very important game for the New Zealanders as they would love to finish things off in style by winning this final T20 game between the two games. Well, joining with me this morning is Rajiva Veerasinghe. Very good morning, Rajiva.
Very good morning, Iran.
Well, Rajiv, we're talking about the first couple of games. The Sri Lankans managing to comprehensively beat the New Zealand. Yes, the first game was a close one, but the second one was a comprehensive win. How do you think that the New Zealanders will try to bounce back in this final game to probably finish things off in glory?
I think it's a nice time for them to come back and end on a high note, even after losing the first two games. So I reckon this is another, learning curve for them on playing on surfaces like this, because they haven't played much cricket on slow surfaces. So I think it's a good time for them to come in a high note and end the series.
Absolutely. If you take a closer look at the second game which happened, let's take a quick look at the summary, Rajiva. Well, the Sri Lankans, they came really hard at the New Zealanders. They posted a mammoth total, and in reply, the New Zealanders, they were really undone by the Sri Lankan bowlers. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think batting first on the surface, I think going past that 150 mark was the ideal option for them, and then bringing in the spinners and then on a surface like this, I think that is the teamwork. It's Wishme who has come on to the form and the runs, and also the spinners coming in the second innings to bowl them out for 96. I think all in all, it's a very good team effort to come out and bounce back in the T20 games after losing the one days.
Yeah,
so
here's a quick look at how Wishme really took on the New
Zealand
bowlers.
I think yes, exactly, Iran. So I wanted to mention that she had a very, very poor strike rate during the recent past, but now coming back into this series, she has improved it, even if it's a slow start, but showing some maturity out there, showing her international experience out there, and giving an example for the young these ladies that how the game should be built, scoring a half century on a T20 game.
Yeah, absolutely. And also just a quick note about Wishme. She has actually gone back to Kandy to join the Sri Lankan squad, getting herself prepared for the World Cup. And also, Rajiv, an important note, we can't keep away Devmi as well. She was absolutely brilliant with the ball in hand. What's your take on Devmi's performance?
I think another very good off spinner I have seen since the under-19 levels. She has been very good bowling and spinning, keeping in very good areas, lines and lengths, and then not afraid to fly the ball up, and then also getting the assistance of the surface was the ideal choice. And with the spin and the turn coming in, I think she has been very good throughout. Another prospect to look out in the future for Sri Lanka cricket.
Yeah, spot on. She's absolutely a prospect for the Sri Lankan future. She has been absolutely brilliant with the bat in hand and the ball in hand as well. Well, the final game, Rajiva, it's very important for the New Zealanders, as I did mention at the beginning. What do you think that maybe the changes or different kind of tactics that they might try to bring out to seal the series off in style?
I think in the last game, in the one days also around, they played a very good a very good game rather, and then coming in, it's the last game as well, even if the games are washed off in the first two games in the one days. But now, like I mentioned earlier, it's something that they can learn out of this, coming into the Asian soils or on surfaces like this, which is very spin friendly, which is a little slower from the New Zealand wickets. So I think let the game begins, and then I think maybe it's the time for them to get some experience out here, as well as end in a very good note.
Right, then we are all set to get to know about the playing conditions. Our expert, Rajiva Veerasinghe, he was out there in the middle a little while ago to take a close look at how the surface looks like for today's game.
Very good morning. Welcome to the Rangiridambulla International Stadium. It's another beautiful day here in Dambulla. Sun is out and less clouds here. Outfield looks brilliant. It's a fast outfield, mind you. So getting back on the surface is the last outing, and 4 games have been played on this strip. So this surface looks very, very dry for me. It's hard enough though, but I reckon there could be assistance for the spinners from ball number 1 on this surface. But it'll come on to the bat very nicely. It's a very hard surface. It's dry though, but I reckon the team winning the toss on this surface will try and bat first, and score somewhere around 140 will be very defendable. So I reckon the skippers will have a go with the bat first.
Well, Rajiv, you did mention that it looks good for batting, but there might be a little bit of assistance for the spinners as well. What do you think would be a good total for the team batting first on the surface?
Well, Iran, since the third one-day game, it's the same surface. So I reckon it's very hard, though, from what I saw. And also, there's a lot of dryness on the surface, so it might assist the spinners also. But batting first is the ideal option. Making something around 140, 150 will be, like in the second game, it'll be very, very crucial for the team who's batting first. Get runs on board and bring your spinners in, because there could be some turn.
Right. Rajiv Adu predicts that the skipper winning the toss probably might bat first and put on a score around 140 runs and then get their bowlers to defend the total. Right, Rajiv was once again out there in the middle with the 2 skippers and the match officials to get to know what happened at the toss.
We're all set for the toss in the third and final T20 game between Sri Lanka A women and New Zealand A women. So I have with me the Sri Lanka women captain Satya Sandipani and New Zealand A women captain Jess Watkin, and the match referee today is Mangala Jayasena. So Satya, you have the coin. You can flip it. Tails is the call, and it's a head. So Satya won the toss. What are you going to do? Okay, so on this surface, what sort of a score you want to post batting first?
Yeah, I believe this is my batting lineup. Today's match.
What sort of a score?
140 plus.
140 plus. All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Just lost the toss, so what would you have been doing if we win the toss on this surface?
I think a game, like every game that we've had here, we've wanted to bat first, and I think Sri Lanka also have wanted to bat first, but I'm not very good at tossing, so I might need to get someone else to do the toss.
So, how has been the tour so far? It's been a couple of weeks' time coming here in Dambulla, playing the one-day games were washed off mostly, but the T20 games, it's going to be a very good learning curve for the team, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think we don't get a lot of wickets like this at home, so for us to get thrown in here, and we have to adapt pretty quickly, and we haven't in the last 2 games, so we're hoping that the third and final game, I think we can get a win on the board.
Good luck for the game.
Thank you.
So the news from the centre is Sri Lanka A women won the toss. They will have a bat first.
Well, that's the news from the centre. Sri Lanka winning the toss, deciding to bat first. Rajiv, you did correctly predict that the team winning the toss might decide to bat first. While taking a closer look at the playing 11 as well, just take us through how the batting should look like during the first innings.
Well, like Satya mentioned, I think 140, 150 will be ideal on this surface, like we just mostly talk about. And with runs on board, spinners coming into play, well, these 2 teams looks very formidable for me, with New Zealand also having a few changes and Sri Lanka A women also having 1 change because of Whitney going back into the national squad. So Whitney the Albis gets the opportunity to be a part of the team, and she's playing the first game for Sri Lanka A. So it's a good learning curve, like I mentioned. Even though the series has come to an end, Iran, this is the perfect time for these young ladies to come out there, perform well, go to the next level.
Absolutely. As you could see in our backgrounds, the umpires walking out to the middle. We are all set for the start of this third and final T20 between these 2 teams. I would like to thank Raju Veerasinghe for joining with me this morning to have a quick chat. Our partners up there in the comm box are ready to go live on now. We'll get them live on now.
Well, it's another gorgeous day here in Dambulla. third and final T20 game of the series is upon us. Sri Lanka already won the series 2-0, looking for 3-0 whitewash. New Zealand, on the other hand, knows that their pride is at stake. They will throw everything at it, and they will be going for finishing the series on a higher note. Winning the toss, Sri Lanka had no hesitation in deciding to bat first. Very good morning to all the cricket lovers who are joining us from across the country and the region. For those who are joining us from around the globe, it's a warm welcome. And Deepal Gunawardena, on-field umpire. He'll be joined by Nimali Pereira, another very experienced lady umpire. A third umpire / TV umpire, Chamara Di Soisa. Our match referee for today's game, Mr. Mangala Jayasena Chaturan Sanjeeva, as the reserve umpire. New Zealand looking to make an impression coming into this game with 3 changes. Kylie Knight, Darcy Prasad, Prue Catton comes in place of Bella James, Tash Wakelin and Emma Black. Hoping to change their fortunes, this youngster performed outstandingly well during the one-day leg of the series as well as the T20s. She looks good. Umpire says, let's play. Here's the first delivery. Straight away. Put on the sweep straight to the fielder. Shashrika Pushagolla joining alongside me in the comm box. Very good morning.
Good morning, Damika. Yes, New Zealand would definitely look to come back this time around. Already losing the series 2-0. It's sort of a dead rubber for them, but a lot is at stake. There's plenty of opportunity, plenty of time to bounce back and leave the Sri Lankan shores on a good mark.
The way they played the second one-day as well as the third one-day, we and the few experts of the view, they are better suited playing T20s, but that wasn't the case. Sri Lanka bounced back really strong. That was really well played. There is protection in the deep. Kylie Knight does the fielding. Sri Lanka off the mark.
So, a stroke that might be opted more this game. We all know it's a used wicket. The same track they're playing on. It's bound to take spin, as we saw in the second game as well. And we see the debutant, a much awaited debut game for Whitney de Alves.
Slower through the air, slower off the pitch, off the back foot, gentle dab. Heard a lot of good things about her. Hard-hitting left-hander, and scored a sparkling 60+ in the NSL game, and expecting to make an impression. Very well bowled, sharp turn, getting past the outside edge. Excellent first over, just a 1 run off. Sri Lanka 1 for no loss. Early in the day, Whitney ceremoniously handing over Sri Lanka a cap. She got the talent. This is the time for Whitney de Alves to make an impression. Sri Lanka coming in with just a single change in comparison to their previous game. We expected they come out with few more changes. New Zealand, on the other hand, every game they made out quite a few changes. 4, maybe 3. So that's their rotation policy. Hannah Rowe, so much of experience, done outstandingly well. Tall, right arm seamer.
Yes, I mean, their perspective in this tour most likely is to find out talent. So that being said, it's always a great opportunity for all these young ladies to show what they've got, show the potential that they have, because it's not often that they travel to the Asian region for tours.
Nicely worked away, but finds a fielder. In fact, Shashrika, this is the first time New Zealand, a women's team, touring subcontinent. So grand opportunity for them to explore their capabilities, playing on different surfaces, different playing patterns. All that matters, I thought. All in all, it's a very productive tour for the New Zealanders. In line with the stumps, but height might take it over the stumps. Very good start for Hannah Rowe as well.
Yeah, Rowe shaping the ball back into the left-hander. Kawindi has been scoring a few runs in the last couple of games. She looked to probably make amends this time around. But it's very important that the Sri Lanka batters, they get off to a good start. The debutant and the non-strikers, and so pressure is on for Kawindi.
Straight away coming down the track, take on the aerial route, made solid connection, not going to go all the way. They'll take a couple. Intention pretty clear. She's quite capable. You saw Shashrika during the series so far. You know, even the experts believe she's good enough to go on to represent national squad. But she's very young. Time will come.
Very well improvised there by Kawindi. The first couple of balls, stock deliveries by Rowe, hitting a good length, shaping it back. And the batter decided to use her feet, get down the track. So these are the subtle changes that you need to do as a T20 batter. You got to be creative. You got to think out of the box. It's not the traditional game that you're looking at. You're looking to improvise. There's limited opportunity in scoring, limited number of overs. It's about maximizing the power play. So all things being said, it's very important that batters identify the best way to go forward.
Slow ball through the air. She does that time and time again. So much of international experience. One of the bowlers to watch out. White Ferns in England doing fairly well. And a few players in with the opportunity. There you go. A cutter. Deviation of the pitch. Very interesting. I'm thinking 150. Definitely not on. 130, 140. Set your targets on 130, 140. Otherwise, things will get out of hand. Try to hit it too hard, just maybe. Came off the inside edge. Very good second over, just 2 runs off. New Zealanders got everything right so far. 2 down, 3 for no loss. New Zealanders straight away bringing in changes. They've been proactive. They did fairly well during the first pace of the game, during the second T20I game, but things fell apart during the latter part. Whitney Alves had to get off the mark. Another young prospect.
Indeed, seems to be a very powerful player. The stature that she's got would suggest that she's got the power game behind her, but having that talent is one thing, executing it is another, especially because it's a debut game. She'll be a bit nervous. It's very normal for any cricketer to be a bit nervous the very first game that they represent the country. So, be a tall ask, but let's hope for the best for her.
Brought up playing cricket in Australia. Played across the line of the delivery. Straight away, that characteristics, you know, likes the ball, come on to bat. But this surface, if I'm not mistaken, being used, not too far away from the outside. I mean, the off stump. Good piece of bowling in line with the stumps. No hesitation whatsoever. Deepal Gunawardena straight away lift the finger. Whitney Alves out for a duck. Plumb in front.
Absolutely. Well, ball shaping back in by Downs. She played right across it, I thought. Let's have a look at the replay. Yes, pitching in line. That's as easy as it could get for the umpire. There we go. A disappointing start to her career, but that's how the game goes. Whitney departs. Sri Lanka 3, runs for the loss of 1 wicket.
Here's another young girl from Sri Lanka under 19 setup who made a serious impression. Played outstanding well during the previous game. We saw a different side of her, attacking shots over mid-wicket region and particular over the top on the offside. So plenty of improvements. That's what exactly, as cricket fans, we would love to see.
Yes, it's about development. It's about how much you gain each game. The opportunities that's been provided to these players is immense nowadays. So they should understand that the target is not actually playing at this level, but to believe in themselves to go to the next level and contribute to the country in a big way.
Absolutely on point. Previous dismissal in line with the stumps, pitched in line with the leg stump, went on to hit the middle stump. Not the way we always would have hoped to start her career. Whipped away on the onside. There are no fielders in the deep. First boundary to young Sanjana Kawindi. Once again, she looks good.
Absolutely hammered towards a square leg boundary. The significant thing that I picked up straight away was the quick hands that she showed. So that's very refreshing to see from the Sri Lankan batter. Seems like she's very good off the length. The horizontal strokes that she has. It's a good signs for Sri Lanka.
Made vast improvements. He used to be very strong offside player. Once again, little shimmy to the offside. Straight to the fielder. Wicket being taken. Decent over 5 runs off. 3 done, 8 for 1 Sri Lanka. So it's a very quiet start for Sri Lanka Women's A. Just what New Zealand A Women's would have hoped for. Already a wicket. And Vimoksha Balasurya understandably will take a little bit of time. On the other hand, Kawindi very exciting. 12 deliveries, good to see. A little bit of maturity.
So the New Zealand captain sticking with Rowe for a successive second over. Makes sense because the ball's shaping in to the left-hander. A risky single, nevertheless, they make it. They always say never run on a misfield. Fundamentally, it goes against the norms of cricket, but this time around, the batters managed to go through for a single.
Communication between two batters wasn't ideal, but luckily, made the adjustment right in time. Vimoksha Balasurya on 2. Going aerial. Made solid enough connection. Gets another boundary. Fabulous shots. She smoked it.
Well. As predicted, the horizontal bat shots off a good length being her strength. The ball shaping in, just clobbered right over mid-on. And that's the intent, that's the impetus that the Sri Lanka ladies team were looking at. And
once again, coming down the track, slash it over. Deep third man region for another boundary. How about that? Aggressive intent, Sanjana Kawindi. Very exciting player.
No deep fielders on the offside. She made sure that the bowler went across her this time around, because last delivery, when the ball jagged back in, she used the angles and hit it over mid-on. The bowler compensating, and that gave the opportunity for the batter to pierce the offside field. As we see a change in the field now, with the mid-on being dropped back, and the deep square leg fielder coming towards the 30-yard circle.
Once again, given the full Monty, but this time straight to the fielder. Very pleasing to see few quiet overs, and immediately Sanjana knew time to make a move. She made the move and paying off a couple of scintillating boundaries and getting us all excited. There's no doubt we are reaching out to you on a wider spectrum, courtesy of Talent TV.lk. Fuller delivery, slower through the air, well within the tram lines. Another dot ball.
Assessing the conditions, ideally 130, 140 should be a winning score, especially from what we've seen throughout the series. So that being said, a key feat for the Sri Lankan team would be to keep wickets in hand, pace the innings out. Yes, of course, the power play would be important, but it's always good as a batting unit to have more wickets in hand towards the latter part. A very good delivery by Rowe. And that concludes the fourth over. 17 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Bringing in more changes. Just Watkin back once again. First over was an excellent one. Once again coming down the track. She played that shot particularly well. This time finds a fielder. Unfortunately, trap was set. Vimoksha Balasurya falling right into it.
Well, the Kiwis have seemed to have done their homework. They saw Vimoksha being very strong square of the wicket. Ideally, as a batter, there was plenty of room down the ground. But nevertheless, great strategy. And fall into the trap was the batter. Held at deep mid-wicket. So Sri Lanka losing a couple of wickets. 17 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Satya Sandeepani coming in at number 4. Huge responsibility. I'm thinking Sri Lanka need to reassess their approach. Usually, on a track like this, it's been used for the third one-day game, first 2 T20s. Even from up here, we can see lighter coloration immediately suggests that it's a drier pitch. Obviously, provide a little bit of purchase for the spin bowlers. Well played, slower through the air and slower out of the pitch. So Sri Lankans definitely need to recalibrate.
Sandeepani, who's done well so far, gets out the mark in the series. So it'll be crucial that they consolidate now, have a partnership as we see the fall of the wicket. There we go. Ball on length, hiked towards the deep mid-wicket region when there was a fielder at deep mid-wicket. Ideally, the batter should have looked to go down the ground, but did not seem like her strong suit.
That's well played. Was in line, on a good length. If it's a good delivery, it's time for the Sri Lankan batters to give the respect it due. Coming down the track, gone aerial and finds a fielder. Just as I mentioned, Sri Lankans needing to recalibrate, but young Kawindi paying the price of going aerial. Sri Lanka loses another wicket.
So basic errors here by the Sri Lanka batters. Saw a wicket fall earlier this over, but there we go, Kawindi using a feet, but the execution once again way short of what she intended. So Sri Lanka in trouble now. 3 wickets down. The Kiwi captain showing her attributes as a great off-spin bowler. So Kawindi departs. Sri Lanka 3 wickets for the loss of 18 runs.
Three down for 18, challenging times. There may be Vihanga. Should take this as an opportunity to make fairly big contribution. Obviously very talented. Someone who's at ease against spin bowling. Very strong on the onside. Sri Lanka needing someone to go deep. Well played. Straight away picking up the single. Going for a single. No, it's the call by Satya Sandeepani. Would have been a mix-up. No harm done. Excellent over by Watkin. Picking up a couple of wickets. Here's the previous dismissal. On a good length. Not making solid enough connection. Bat face closes inwards. Hannah Rowe takes a very good catch. Sri Lanka 18 for 3 after 5.
Five overs done, 18 runs on the board for the loss of 3 wickets. Sri Lanka, not the ideal kind of start they would have wanted to have. Joining me in the com box, Rajiva, what's your take on the first 5 overs?
Well, I think losing wickets. Losing 3 wickets inside the power play with 1 over left. Knight into the attack, new bowler. Yeah, that's missing, definitely. Hitting outside the line also. So losing wickets and then inside the power play, Sri Lanka struggling to get runs below 4 runs and over. So when a team, Iran, loses a couple of maybe 2-3 wickets inside a power play, any even game on a T20, any day, the team batting will struggle to score runs. After this, it's going to be more trouble because the field restrictions.
Yeah, in fact, a disappointing start for the Sri Lankans. The 2 opening batters failing to capitalize on the opportunity. Sanjana Kawindi, probably she will be disappointed as well. Couldn't get off to a start. Whitney De Silva, she would have been very disappointed, isn't it, Rajiv? The first game that she got the opportunity, she had to let it go, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think maybe it's not the perfect time for her after getting that cap. Missing out on that full toss once again. Yeah, missing out on the opportunity that she gathered today. Well, it's not the end of the career. It's the time. It's Kaylee Knight, right arm medium, the new bowler. So Whitney, maybe with the experience coming in, soils like this, the surfaces, she'll get through to it, and then many more tours are ahead of the Sri Lanka women's squads. So it's always a learning curve when you get an opportunity. There have been plenty of opportunities gathered when a player gets that chance. Oh, high up in the air. Yeah, just a single. When a player gets that chance, Iran, there have been so many instances that you get out for a knot. There have been in your career for maybe couple of three. There was an assistance a game for Maman Natapattu in back in the day. Getting 6 ducks to start his career. So it's like that only. Well, missing out that opportunity. Oh, bold! Another wicket falling inside the power play, Iran. This is not good signs for Sri Lanka.
This is absolute disaster. Well, Deumi, the team probably had a lot of hopes. Take a closer look at that. Playing across the line for a delivery that was pitched outside the off stump. Not the ideal shot. She will be very disappointed when she takes a closer look at that. And she disappointingly walks back without troubling the scorers. 19 runs on the board for Sri Lanka for the loss of 4 wickets. Well, there you go. We are done with the power play. Sri Lanka 19 runs on the board for the loss of 4 wickets. Absolutely disappointing start. Looking at the first couple of games, they played some quality cricket. Maybe taking things a little bit lighter as they managed to seal the series off. But as a team playing in this level of cricket, you need to count every game as an important contest. Especially plenty of players, young players who are tapping the doors of the national squad. They need to try and showcase their skills. We did speak about Deumi even during the talk show as well, Rajiv. High expectations on her.
Yeah, indeed, definitely. But missing out the opportunity once again. Another duck, Sumuduni Sansala, the new batter, walking in, right-hander. So change the bowling as well. Watkins into the attack. Slow left arm orthodox, PJ Watkins from the combox end. With the restrictions are being away in the after the first power play. Look at the scorecard around. It's high up in the air once again. It's placed nicely with just one bounce. And that's the first boundary for her. Satya Sandipani. More heavy shoulders on her.
Yeah, there you go. Bringing out the broom, sweeping it outside the off stump, dragging it. No fielder and the long on boundary and making maximum use out of it. And we could see the long on fielder being pushed back now. Oh, that's very cheeky. The wicket keeper will be surely disappointed. Looks like there was an edge on that Raji were trying to cut outside the off stump.
Yeah, definitely outside edge there. Yeah, getting a bit of glove. So Sri Lanka needs a bit of luck like that, definitely, for sure, Iran. Because from the scorecard, doesn't look very promising right now.
5 runs off the first 2 deliveries. Once again, sweeps, missing out on an opportunity. A full toss delivery. Now, these 2 batters, they need to try and be out there at least until the 13th or the 14th over. They need a partnership. It's not about big striking. It's not about going after every single delivery. Try and rotate the strike. Look for those singles. Look for those couples. Push the pressure back at the New Zealanders. Beautifully bowled. Quick single. Yeah, this is absolutely what I was talking about. Keep the scoreboard moving.
Yeah, indeed, spot on there because you can't be on the same hole around. You need to come out of it. It's with the skipper out there. I think rotation of the strike, working those singles, working those balls into the gaps. Plenty of gaps on the leg side, mind you. 3 fielders in the boundary. And only a single fielder which is In short, fine. Yeah, quick single again, but hesitation there. Just a dot ball. So only short, fine field on the leg side, but this is not the perfect time for another wicket. Another run out will be very, very, very unlucky. It's not the ideal one for Sri Lanka women's at the moment with the rotation of striker. I reckon they need to be very careful.
Couple of steps down the ground. There is protection. She will meet the sole fielder at deep cover. Good over for Sri Lanka. 7 runs coming off that. 7 overs done, 26 for 4. "26 runs on the board after 4 was, well, a disappointing batting card. The two openers, Sanjana Kavindi though, got off to a good start. She was absolutely brilliant the other day with the bat in hand, but failing to capitalise today. Satya Sandipani, the skipper, she has really got an opportunity to showcase what she is capable of and to deliver the team out of the stage which they are at this stage. Armstrong into the attack. Well, just short of the field, that short extra cover. Looks like the intentions are the same, isn't it, Rajiv? They're trying to go after every single delivery.
Another lucky escape for Satya. I reckon the extra cover field was a little bit deeper on that occasion. Because with the opportunity that she has got coming into the bat, yeah, we'll take a look at this. It's a tossed up delivery going for a big drive up Ashley, falling just 1 foot shorter.
Well, she continues to sweep, fails to make contact. Armstrong, she has been great throughout the series, and looks like we are coming upstairs.
Director, we have an umpire's referral for a stumping. Start with front foot, please. It's a fair delivery. Go to side on angle for the stumping, please. I can't see the breaking of the wicket. Yeah. Roll it through. Yeah. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Yeah, bat is grounded inside the popping crease when the wicket is broken. Satisfied? I have a decision. My decision.
Once again, a lucky escape for the skipper, Satya Sandipani, trying to drag it outside the off stump. She was way outside the batting crease, luckily getting a back on time. Armstrong, 3-dot delivery so far. Commentator's curse.
Pitched on maybe the leg stump, getting some turn. Oh, that will be really, really interesting for these Sri Lanka women spinners. Bella Armstrong. Yeah, pulled it nicely towards mid-wicket, just a single. So the surface looks really, really spin-friendly, isn't it? The ball is not coming on much, though it looks a little harder. It has become very slow. It's the 4th game on the same surface around. So I reckon in a soil, in Asian soils, when you play such games in the same wicket, yes, the intentions are definitely for the ball to spin. But a lovely shot from Nisansala towards sweeper cover. So I think on this surface, I need to alter. Maybe 120 will be a very good score.
Even during the first game, Sri Lanka managing to put, in fact, New Zealand managing to put 129 on the board. It was a hard chase for the Sri Lankans to get there. So maybe somewhere between 120 to 130 would be ideal. 8 overs done, 30 for 4.
Well, the skipper stepping from the front, 2 overs, 2 runs for, and just picking up those 2 crucial wickets from the new ball. Jess Watkin has been incredible, and in her first 2 overs. So the fall of wickets, look at that, Iran. 3, 17, 18, 19, and they were struggling.
It's currently a rebuilding pace. Let's see, there's a discussion going on.
Yeah. Can you start? Can you give me split screen on this, please? I need to see the landing of the back foot and the batter as well. Front on, please. Front on. Give me front on first. Give me the side on angle, director. No, the bail is fallen before the ball reaches the batter. Can have to call dead ball. The bail is fallen before batter receive the ball. Should be a dead ball.
Well, there you go. Interesting scenes happening out there in the middle. There you go. We are getting a decision from the third umpire. The previous over, the final delivery, it will be called a dead ball, as you did closely see on screen. The bail falling off the groove before the batter was in contact with the ball. So as per the rules and regulations, it will be called a dead ball and it will be rebowled.
Well, even if it's sunny, Iran, the strong breeze, that's what happened. I was also surprised what was going on. So it'll be rebowled once again, the last ball of the previous over. And there's a huge, strong breeze going across the ground. So Armstrong will bowl the last delivery of the 8th over. And it's a dot ball. 8 overs done. Sri Lanka A women. 29 for 4.
Well, as you did mention, Raju, with the skipper leading from the front, 2 runs and 2 wickets, breaking the top out of the Sri Lankan batting card. Too close, trying to cut hard outside the off stump. These 2 batters, they were out there in the middle even during the first T20 game as well. They found themselves in a situation where they were finding it hard to put away the bowlers. So they need to try and rotate the strike. That would be key at this stage. Looks like they're trying to play the ball hard a little bit rather than trying to time it and place it.
You saw how slow the surface is. Even when the ball was pitched slower and shorter, it has ample of time for the batter to rock back and play the strokes. And definitely there's a lot of turn coming in. And with the slowness, yes, quick single there. That is good running. Misfield opportunity for the batters to cross over for an extra run. Yeah, that is the pressure that you need to build. And rotating strike because the boundaries are pretty dried.
Well, this is exactly what I was mentioning few deliveries back as well. You need to try and put the fielders under pressure. And the fielder inside the circle, she was put under pressure, and that created the opportunity for a second run as well. There you go. This is very good running between wickets. The fielders were much closer. They were probably within 15 or 10 yards maybe from the batter, but still the communication between the two batters was spot on. Now this is something they need to closely watch on and try and build a partnership. 4 runs of 4 deliveries. And then you put the batter, in fact the ball, under pressure and look for some extra runs.
And that's straight down the leg side, wide given. With ease around, they managed to get 5 runs in this over. So, like I mentioned, we need to alter that first inning score. Maybe 120 will be very good. Going for the single, maybe happy with it. Yeah, 120 will be very good comparatively on a surface like this. The ball spinning. Sri Lanka spinners have done a very good job so far in this series. So they need to work for it, definitely. Especially with the skipper out there.
Short, but there is protection. But a very good over for the Sri Lankans. That completes over number 9. 7 runs coming off that. 36 for 4. Well, looking at the surface, Rajiva, taking a closer look at it again, looks like it is slowed down than we did expect, and something on offer, in fact plenty on offer for the spinners as well. I would say that the Sri Lankan spinners would be biting their lips to walk out to the middle, especially Chamudi Prabodha, Satya Sandipani, and Devmi herself. So 3 frontline spinners would be very interested. Dances down the track, but will fall just short of the fielder.
Well, I reckon that shot is quite a risky shot with the fielders are back in the line, going for a big heave. The slog sweep shot on offer, but on a surface like this with the 2 right-handers out there with the off-spinner bowling in, it's an ideal shot. But you need to make sure either you place it in the gap or play it along the ground. And with these 2 batters, what they're doing around, they're trying to build a partnership coming in. Oh, inside edge. Happy with just a single, 3 singles in this over so far. It's not going to be easy for the batters to get boundaries on this surface because the ball is not coming onto the bat with half the innings coming to an end after this over, with the drinks being called into the field. I'm pretty sure that messages will come across for these 2 batters to up that run rate. Maybe the target to come in around 120.
As of now, these 2 batters, realizing what's required, understanding the situation, they have managed to change their game a little bit, looking for those singles. They got 21-run partnership of 22 deliveries. They're doing it nice at the moment. Oh, that's a risky run, but still worth it, isn't it? They're doing it in style. They haven't really chanced their arms in this over. 5 runs coming off with quite ease.
Yeah, if they need to get down 120 around, they need to up their run rate to 8 runs and over from now onwards. So plannings will come in place. Like you mentioned earlier, these 2 batters need to bat at least until 13th, 14th over. Yeah, lovely. Lovely bit of work there. Just happy with the single. 6 singles coming off the 10th over. Sri Lanka A women 42 for 4. And the drinks will be called into the field.
So welcome back. Sri Lanka in a bit of strife over here at Dambulla. 4 wickets to have fallen so far. The first wicket, yes, Whitney, the always plumb in front. Debut game it was. The second wicket held a deep mid wicket. We thought that the intent by some of the Sri Lankan batters were right, but the execution was questionable. So there we go. The drinks break is done and dusted. Play is about to resume. The pick of the bowlers, the skipper, Jess Watkins, getting 2 wickets for 2 runs. So remarkable feat by her. And all the other bowlers chipped in so far. They've done a good job for the Kiwis. Play about to resume as Sri Lanka, slowly but surely, building up on a decent partnership. The current run rate at 4.2. They would look to at least get to 120, 130, which would be par over here.
Front Jonas is into the attack. First delivery short of a length, cut away straight to the fielder. Ideally suited track for type of a bowler. Front Jonas slower through the air, quite keen on tossing the ball up. Just like that. This time taken Fuller. Much needed boundary for the Sri Lankans. They were under pressure. Boundaries aren't coming. Satya Sandipani take the maximum advantage out of that delivery.
So the skipper leading from the front. A juicy full toss, well placed most importantly. Targeting the deep square leg region, rather finer off the square leg region which was vacant. So he's got his gaps in mind. Rightly said, Amika, ideal conditions for finger spinners. They've been dominating proceedings so far.
Kylie Knight in particular as a medium pace bowler. Someone I noticed right throughout the series, bowling stumps to stump, picking up wickets regularly. Almost always giving breakthroughs for the New Zealand day. Improvisation once again made a mess of it. Little shimmy onto the offside, played all over it. Stumps are rattled. Skipper walking back disappointedly.
Again, the intent was probably right, but the execution poor by the skipper. Here we go, exposing the stumps. A cardinal error. You cannot miss the ball from there onwards. You miss, I hit, says the bowler. And that's that for the Sri Lankan skipper. She walks back. And Sri Lanka in a bit of a spot. Satya Sandipani departs 16 of 23. Sri Lanka 47 for 5. So the new batter, Pumi Vatsala, a right-handed batter. A lot will depend on her for Sri Lanka to achieve that par score of 110, 120 maybe now. Things not looking too bright for them. Jonas, on the other hand, outstanding. She'll be delighted to get a wicket off her very first over.
Room outside the off stump. Pumi Vatsala latches onto that one. Once again, Sri Lanka getting back a little bit of momentum. I thought to realize the need of recalibration, they understood little too late. Now they've 5 lost, opportunity provided. They shouldn't be missing them. This is good cricket.
Jonas now has to stick to the basics. We've seen 2 freebies so far. But the hindsight, she's captured a very important wicket as well. If she can stick to the lines and lengths, she'll do a very good job for the Kiwis. 51 for the loss of 5 wickets after 11 overs.
There you go. Too much, moving too far onto the offside, exposing the stumps. I mean, all 3 sticks. Cardinal mistake.
Well, that's been the show for Sri Lanka thus far. Poor execution right along by most of the batters, I would say. Hence, the scorecard that we see. It'll take some effort to revive from here for Sri Lanka. They would look to win this series 3-0. That should be their intent. But it looks like a tall ask from here.
You're right about that. In line with the stumps, I really like the look of Nissan Salah. Well fielded down in the deep. Plenty of commitment by New Zealand fielders. Marama Downers always contributes, whether with the ball in hand, with the bat, and in the deep. She's been brilliant right throughout the series. And Nissan Salah, I was talking about Nissan Salah. I really like the fact she understood the gravity of the situation, picking up singles, not going for big shots. There you go. Getting past the outside edge. Very clever operator, Kylie Knight. Back of her length, mixing her length up really nicely. So is the pace.
So Knight, after a very good first over, she's already captured a wicket. There's still a bit of assistance for her. Hitting that length, slightly jagging away from the batter. Nissan Salah, who's been looking to manipulate the field, work the ball around. Another classic example, trying to hit the circle and run for 2, but this time around, the fielder ever so quick to its ball, stops any chance of getting 2 runs over there. The score moves on to 54. The partnership on 7. Be very vital that they go on at least till the 15th or 16th over so that they could look to accelerate from there onwards.
On point. Short pitch delivery worked away. More importantly, kept it down. Just a single. I mean, everyone will be focusing on Pimpi Vatsala. Got plenty of experience, played international cricket. I mean, this is the sort of a scenario she should be digging deep and play till the end.
Look at the overs remaining. If they can at least go run a ball till the 16th over, should get to about 75-80 runs then. Oh, that's a brilliant slower delivery. Knight deceiving the batter completely. So that's that. Nissan Salah, who's been batting so well so far, got caught to that beautiful delivery by Knight.
I went on to mention about her speed variations. What a slower delivery. Back of the hand, slower delivery. Batter got deceived. Nowhere close. Excellent piece of bowling. Sri Lanka 6 down in deep, deep trouble. 55 runs on the board.
So all the bowlers have done exceptionally well now. Sri Lanka in dire straits, I would say. With 8 overs to go, they would now look purely just to bat out the 20 overs and see what they can get. But the bowlers have been exceptional for New Zealand this time around. Obviously, the conditions favouring the spinners a bit, but it's been outstanding how the fast bowlers have done exceptionally well. Rashmika Sewandi, the new batter for Sri Lanka, the messages must be pretty clear for the batters now. Just bat out time. Get as much as you can. Consolidate. Look to get the singles.
Another good delivery getting past the outside edge. Excellent medium pace bowling. We must have another look at the previous dismissal. What a piece of bowling. Take a look at it. That would have taken the best of batter out.
Ian Harvey, I can remember going 2-3 decades back, the back of the hand slow ball. He was exceptional at it, and Knight this time around showing her skills with the back of the hand slow ball. So, Hoik towards deep mid-wicket to start proceedings in the 13th over. Pumi moves on to 6. Rashmika, the left-hander on strike, would be an ideal matchup for her. But the game situation does not suggest that she could take any sort of risk from here onwards, at least for the next few overs. It'll be interesting to see what she does.
You're absolutely on point. Right now, it's name of the game, survival. Bet out the remaining overs. That'll do it. Leading edge once again. Goes to tell you how slow the surface is.
Smart bit of bowling by Jonas. Kept the leg side field open. And I think it was the arm delivery that took the ball away from the batter. The batter trying to look to cross over for a single.
That'll do it. They shouldn't take any risk. It's about batting out the 20 overs, get whatever comes their way. Rashmika, we know for a fact she is capable of clearing the boundary quite easily. That's lovely. Beautifully worked away. Lovely wrist work. Gets off the mark. Rashmika, ideally suited to, go after the bowling during the last couple of overs, I'm thinking.
Keep in mind, New Zealand were bundled out very cheaply last game for around mid-80s, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be in the back of their minds, plus the Sri Lankan camp as well. So they look to get to 90, 100 maybe from now. They do really well to get to 110, 120. But that being said, the vital point here is how far can they go in terms of batting out.
So important, the skipper's role. Try to cut that one little too close to her body. Not too much room outside the off stump. You should be talking to Rashmika Sewandi and saying, okay, let's bat out the overs. That's good. Gets a single. There shouldn't be panic. Yes, they are 6 down, dire straight, just as you mentioned. Another excellent over, just 3 runs off, 58 for 6 after 13.
So Pumi on strike. A clear field for her on the leg side. The off spinner Armstrong in operation. She looked to maneuver the ball. It's very good at the sweep shot. Very effective sweeper is Pumi. But this will be a challenge for Rashmika. The ball spinning away from her ideal matchup for the bowler. They would rather look to squeeze her out here, get a couple of dot balls in.
Test of character for Rashmika Sewandi for sure. Someone who likes to, she's a free-flowing player, free-flowing batter. We saw that from time and time again. Played outstandingly well during the first T20. From outside the off stump, slower off the pitch. Not managing to time that shot all that well, finds a fielder.
Clear indications that The pitch is not the most favorable for batting. It's definitely slowing off the track as we see. Oh, there we go. Another wicket. Clear dismissal indicated by the umpire. Deviation. And that suggests that that would be the 7th wicket. Rashmika this time departs. Armstrong, who's been exceptional so far, and grabs another one.
I'm starting to wonder if Sri Lanka took the foot off the pedal. This is, disappointing batting effort. They know for a fact this pitch is rather slow and getting slower as the day progresses. This is the 4th game, if I'm not mistaken, playing on this track. Rashmika out for 1 of 6 deliveries. Sri Lanka in dire straits.
So Armstrong capturing that important wicket. Sachini Nisansala, the new batter. Wonder what's going on in her mind. She's seen so many wickets tumble within the camp. There's plenty of pressure. Ideally, her job would be to bat out. But this is unbelievable stuff here. It shows that 80-90 runs could be a very interesting game.
Absolutely on point. I immediately mentioned after Sri Lanka losing the 2nd wicket, this is not the sort of a track you go on to get 230, 240, 250. A little bit of room outside the O stump. Another classic example, not coming onto the bat. It is the previous dismissal. Rashmika Sewandi chasing it, not coming off the track, not coming onto the bat, finds a faint edge. That's the way to do it. Let the ball come on to you, work the way on the onside, gets a single. Another excellent over. Bella Armstrong, 3 overs, 1 for 11. After 14, 60 for 7.
A scorecard, a disappointing one at that. A couple of starts by Kavindi, Satya and Nisansala, but appalling as it seems. No one managing to go on, get that 40 or 50 that Sri Lanka wanted.
Even a runner ball would do the trick for them. Right now, 6 overs remaining, 36 runs would get them close to 100 runs. Gets a single once again. Pumi's approach will be so crucial for Sri Lanka. Experienced player, I'm saying that again. It'll be a test of character. When team needs it, that's when the experience count.
Absolutely, Damika. Pumi might look to go more towards the horizontal shots that she's famous for. The wicket is relatively slow. There's no point in trying to target down the ground, especially with this older ball now.
I'm thinking Sri Lanka took a little while to recalibrate. They came with a preset mindset of scoring 130. Yes, during the previous 2 T20 games, scores of around 230, 230 plus, definitely match-winning score. But right now, even 100 runs, I can tell you, would make it very, very interesting.
Looking at the field, even the extra car feels the fielder at extra car is more towards the 30-yard circle, so there's plenty of singles on offer. It's just that they are struggling to really get bat on ball, hit the gaps, go through for those quick singles, and rotate strike most importantly.
That's your coaching experience coming through. That's the way to do it. Plenty of fielders on the offside, of course. Leg side. Vast vacant spaces. A full toss. A gift. Not being utilized straight to the fielder, just a single.
Those are the areas that Sri Lanka could improve. We've seen the field on the off. The mid-off is in the circle. The extra car in the 30-yard mark. So a full toss like that, it's about trying to place that delivery along the ground between the mid-off and the extra car fields, which would have given an easy boundary because it was a full toss. So those are areas that Sri Lanka, especially the camp, could focus on. The offside play has been quite appalling, especially against spin. As we speak, another hoik across and another dismissal for Sri Lanka.
Another one bites the dust. Poor shot selection by Sachini Nisansala. Absolutely not required. The requirement at this stage would be to stay out there, bat till the end, but not being smart. Ball on the other hand says thank you so much. Sri Lanka loses another wicket. Wickets going down like a deck of cards. Sachin Nisansala out for 2 of 5 deliveries, 62 for 8.
So the projections say that Sri Lanka should get to around 84. But let me tell you, looks far from it. Is the new batter, Shashini Gimhani, a right-handed batter, now might struggle a bit, especially that the ball is turning square, ripping. There we go. A thick outside edge. Ball racing down towards the boundary. Yes, welcome runs indeed for Sri Lanka. Gimhani managing to get some bat on that. The outfield doing the rest. As we see the replay, a good delivery on good length. A slip would have been ideal for New Zealand. The captain missing out on a trick that favours the Sri Lankan camp. This quick dumble outfield meant that there was a definite boundary added to the Sri Lankan tally. So 15 overs done, 66 for 8 Sri Lanka.
Well, the Sri Lankans, they're really throwing the kitchen sink at the New Zealand bowlers, but the fact that really disappoints is they haven't got a really good total on board as of now, 67 for 8. But still we could see the batters throwing out their bats.
Well, look at that turn. And the bounce pitched outside the off stump. Completely deceiving for the flight there. Down the track, played uppishly. Landed safely, just a single though. Yes, the batters missing out on the surface after winning the toss, electing to bat first. None of the batters, the top order, continuing to go through and bat throughout. A lot of turn, isn't it? Lot of turn. And when the wickets kept on going, with the flow, they continued to fall of wickets. So that's what happened.
Well, it's just that none of the batters, they gave themselves a chance to spend some time out there in the middle, put up a partnership, look to at least get past that 100-run mark. Now, looking at the service and the turn and the bounce it's offering, well, even 110 would be a good total with plenty of spinners in the Sri Lankan dugout. So they will be absolutely disappointed, and runs like this will be very fancy and disappointing for the New Zealanders.
Bonus, definitely bonus, 5 runs. Much needed for the Sri Lanka women's side here. It doesn't matter how may it come, they will grab it. It was pitched on outside the leg stump. The keeper couldn't gather it. With the turn coming in, straying down the leg side. And the outfield just helps it along towards the boundary. I mean, even the fielder was after it. It's electrifying, isn't it? The outfield here in Dambulla. Trying to go for the quick single, just denies by the non-striker. So you were talking about 110. That is another 36 runs remaining in the last 4 overs. Gettable if they can adjust themselves on this surface, which was the not effectiveness coming in from. Oh, played uppishly once again. High up in the air, fielder under it. Oh, it's a knock on. Meanwhile, the batter's crossing for a single.
Yeah, she absolutely made a mess out of it. Would have been a good one if she managed to grab onto it. 16 overs done, 76 for 8. Let's take a quick look at that again. Getting that outside edge. Well, tough chance though, but they need to stick at this level of cricket. We're coming to the point of the New Zealanders. We'll come back to that point during the next over. The skipper is back in action, Jess Watkin. Well, the important fact is, Rajiv, with the New Zealand bowlers and the fielders, they have been absolutely brilliant, isn't it, from the word go. They really kept the pressure on towards the Sri Lankans. They haven't really given them a chance to bounce back. So great work done by the New Zealanders, including the skipper leading from the front.
Well, high up in there, fielder under it. Oh, that's the 9th wicket you're talking about. The skipper leading from the front. She brings herself into the attack and grabs the 9th wicket. Even after losing the first 2 games, look at this end. Ending on a high note. And that's the 9th wicket falling in the Sri Lanka women's inning. The sweep shot, the slog sweep shot, right down at the deep Sportylk fielder's throat there. Easy pickings.
Yeah, disappointing end once again for Shashini Gimhani, who finished things off for Sri Lanka in game number 2. Departs for 7. Sri Lanka 77 for 8.
Well, last man walking in. The under-19 skipper of Sri Lanka women's team, Jamodi Prabodha. Well, yes, Watkin. Oh, she's been outstanding with the new ball now coming into the attack with the older ball. Picking up 3 crucial wickets and then just given 3 runs only around. Very, very good spell. Dream spell for her.
Yeah, this has been absolutely brilliant from the New Zealand skipper. Taking the responsibility at the top of the innings, then coming back to finish things off. 3 for 4 with the ball in hand. And she probably will opening the batting as well. So she's proving herself to be a great all-rounder, pushing the Sri Lankan team onto the back foot. Kapala steps down the ground, throws the kitchen sink at it, but straight down the throat of the fielder at deep square leg. She runs across and grabs a catch to finish things off. Well, Sri Lanka will be absolutely disappointed. But on the other hand, the New Zealanders, they would be overjoyed, bowling out Sri Lanka for 79 runs, winning the toss and batting first. Well, this is not the kind of end that he would love to see. But New Zealanders, they really took the upper hand, never let the Sri Lankans to settle down.
Yeah, down the track and then trying to go for a slog sweep again, but falling short a little there. Deep square leg, Watkin picking up 4 wickets for just 4 runs. 2 with the new ball, 2 with the old ball. Sri Lanka just managing to get 78 runs only. And last wicket to fall, Pumi Watsala for just 12 runs. Disappointing, isn't it? After winning the toss, electing to bat first, and then the New Zealand camp coming into this game, like we mentioned earlier, Iran, they wanted to finish this in a high note. This is the perfect example.
Yeah, if you take a quick look at the batting card, in fact, none of the batters really contributing. Sanjana Kavindi, she got off to a start, but really didn't capitalize. Whitney will be disappointed. She couldn't capitalize on the opportunity that has come her way. Nissan Salai and Pumi, well, they looked promising with a decent partnership of 20 plus runs, but unfortunately not capitalizing, and Sri Lanka ending at 78 at the end of 16.5 overs.
Well, top of the list, look at that. Jess Watkin, 2.5 overs, just given 4 runs only, but 13 dot balls and 4 wickets. Incredible, phenomenal spell from her. And the spinners doing a lot of damage for the Sri Lankan batters there. Knight picking up 2 wickets also. A wicket apiece for Downs and Watkins, Armstrong and Jonas in their allocated overs. And disappointing, the fall of wickets. Only one partnership of 28 runs for the 5th wicket. Apart from that, batters really did struggle. Well, Sri Lanka winning the toss, electing to bat first, and then that was the first wicket. Whitney Tiaways getting out. And Sanjana Kavindi actually got a good start with a couple of boundaries, but she not managing to gather runs apart from that few boundaries. And she's falling short once again. Wickets falling, regular tandems there. None of the partnerships worked for Sri Lanka. The batters come and the batters go because of, yes indeed, this is a slow surface, but still, I reckon one of the batters should have hanged in there to bat the 20 overs inside the 17th over with plenty of balls remaining. Sri Lanka getting all out. I mean, interesting fact, that was a peach of a delivery, isn't that? They saved that slower delivery, and wickets kept on going. They really did struggle on this surface, but the bowlers did a very good job around to make sure they didn't give any upper hand for the batters at all in this third T20 game. And Watkin, I think, definitely as the skipper, stepping up, stepping in front, and doing the damage, picking up 4 crucial wickets. So that's the target, just 79 runs, a moderate target with 20 overs. I think in a T20 game, yes, surface would somewhat think that it's going to be difficult, but I reckon it's a very easy target. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back with live action in the second innings.
to the Rangiridambulla International Cricket Stadium. We are back live in action where the Sri Lankan A women's team are taking on the New Zealand A women's team for the third and final T20 game. Well, the Sri Lankans winning the toss, deciding to bat first. Not the kind of total they would want to see. 78 runs before they were bowled out within 16.5 overs. But what an outstanding performance it was by the New Zealanders. Well, they were on top from the word go, especially the skipper, Jess Watkin, leading from the front, 4 for 4, which really led Sri Lanka down to be bowled out at 78 within 16.5 overs. Right, then we are all set for the chase. We have the two opening batters. Jess Watkin will face Shamudi Prabodha. Joining me back in the comm box, Rajiva. It's going to be an interesting chase, isn't it?
Well, more often not interesting, Irani. It's an easy target, to be honest. I reckon because of the total that Sri Lanka made. Rapid the pads, loud appeal. Maybe hitting outside the line? Yes, it's a very modest target, mind you. Interesting, the ball not getting spin, yes. Hitting outside the line, but Chamodi was really thrilled about it. He thought you'd have got the breakthrough. Oh, rapid the pads there. Was it inside edge? Was it inside edge that saved Watkin there? Because if not, that would have really crashed. Oh.
Well, lucky there for Jess Watkin once again, trying to sweep across the line.
Well, you were talking about it's interesting. Yes, I figured it out. It's going to be really interesting. That was short, pounced hard towards mid-on. I like to see Chamodi bowling more fuller to the batter. Especially stump to stump with the new ball just going straight through to the stumps. Just like that, flicked away. She's off the mark. Watkin there.
Yeah, these low-scoring games are always thrilling, isn't it? Now, with 1 run on the board after 5 deliveries, couple of shouts, things could be interesting. Kate Anderson, another aggressive batter, a talented young batter for the New Zealanders. She'll be looking forward to finish the series on style, but more importantly, the Sri Lankans would love to see her back. Goes for a big shot, but as the surface is not offering much for the batters, ends up hitting it to mid-off. First over done, 1 without loss.
$78 more needed in 19 overs. Spin from both ends. That's Deumi, the right arm off spinner into the attack. Sri Lanka losing 4 wickets in the power play round. Half-lighter delivery. Getting some turn. She loves to turn the ball and not afraid to flight it up also. So for them to get back into this game, they need to grab wickets inside the power play. When you lose 4 wickets inside the power play, that will put the team in back foot. That's what happened for Sri Lanka in the first innings when they elected to bat first. Looking at the field setup, just 2 fielders, deep mid wicket and long on being placed inside the power play.
Well, that'll be all be wickets that the Sri Lankans would be looking at this stage. They're surely not going to defend this total by bowling out the 20 overs. They need to try and bowl more dot deliveries, contain the runs, and put the pressure on the New Zealanders and look for those quick wickets. That shot, well, if you if you could see, the ball is really not coming on to the bat, especially these New Zealand batters playing in the New Zealand conditions. They love the ball coming on to the bat, but that ain't happening here today. That's a fuller delivery. Smashes it. Once again, no timing.
Well, yes, for the right arm off spinner. There's two fielders for Anderson, long on and deep mid wicket. Now the long on fielder coming inside the ring, and deep square being pushed. Well, definitely it's not coming on to the batter, and they're struggling for sure to connect the right of the meat. But if you have time, if you spend time on this surface, work through the singles, you have plenty of runs. Dot ball. Good over. Just a couple of runs. 2 overs done. 3 for no loss. Well, 76 more needed. How crucial that last 3 overs in the Sri Lanka innings, if they manage to bat and add 20-25 runs. Moving across, and yes, just a single though. Trying to go for a single, but it's a dot ball. Straight to deep, straight to short square leg rather. Trying to go, but Rashmika Sewan, they get a flat batted shot. The sweep shot in coming into place in this innings from Watkin, because she loves that area.
Well, they're trying to hit it too hard. The same mistake that the Sri Lankan batters did as well. They need to try and give themselves a chance. Spend some time out there in the middle. 30 runs off the power play without losing a wicket would be ideal. But they're in a rush. One bounce into the long off boundary. She finally connects. Couple of steps down the ground and gets up on top of the infield.
Well, if you need boundaries, you need to avoid that ball landing. So right on the pitch of it, flat batted shot from Watkin there, and just flat as you like, just one bounce. Almost took the cameraman off from there. Yes, brilliant shot. You need to use the fade on a surface like this and place it nicely.
She comes down again and pays the price. There you go. This is what I was talking about. Chamudi Prabodha. She's an absolute gem, isn't it? We did see in the previous games as well. Even though she was taken on, she comes back really strong. This is disappointing. Watkin, realizing that the surface isn't working out in favor of the batters, she throws away her wicket.
Bowl a little slower. She was going for a similar shot, and there you see that thrill face from Chamudi Prabodha. Just Watkin departs for 6. New Zealand Women's A, 8 for 1. So number 3 batter, Caden walking in. Prue Caden, another right-handed batter. This gives another opportunity to Chamudi Prabodha. But I like to see that slip coming in place. If you need to win this game, you need to take wickets. And the slip will come into place on a surface which is turning, especially with the new ball around. It'll grip and turn, and with the odd ball just like that, will go straight through. We'll take a look at the last wicket. Bowled a little slower, similar kind of length, but not coming on to the pitch of the ball, where she got a boundary in the previous delivery and nicely deceived with the flight there from Chamudi.
Beautifully done. Now she has a special ability to slide it through to the right-hand batter as well. So she has managed to grab plenty of wickets using that. A successful over comes to an end. A wicket and 6 runs, 9 for 1.
Well, Sri Lanka and the New Zealand women's team, the broadcasts platforms, fan code Sporty.lk on YouTube, and then the Sri Lanka Cricket YouTube channel, TalentTV.lk, Supreme TV, and on SLT, POTV, TV Supreme channel number 13, and Dialogue TV on TV Supreme on channel number 12, and FreeSat on channel number 17, and Sandbricks.com as well. So you can witness this game, even though it has been a very, very good tournament so far. For the viewers to watch these games, it is coming to an end in this couple of weeks so far, with the 3 one-days and the T20 games coming to an end. And New Zealand chasing a target of 79 runs. But it doesn't become much easy for them, Miran. It doesn't show that much easy because of the surface and then the fighting spirit coming in from the young girls of Sri Lanka A.
This is what I mentioned during the start of the innings as well. It's not going to be an easy chase for the New Zealand batters. Yes, it's a very moderate, we can't even call it a moderate total. 78 runs, that's below par for sure. But these kind of low-scoring games would always turn into an interesting contest if the bowling team come out strong, play their trump cards really well at the right time. Things could be really interesting, but the New Zealand batters, they need to play it very smart. They shouldn't be throwing away wickets, especially during the power plays.
Well, how crucial, like I mentioned earlier also, that the last 3 overs to be missing out for Sri Lankan batting camp. 20 more extra runs, 100 on board with 3 figures mark coming in. That would have been very crucial, isn't it, Iran? Because a surface like this, which assists the spinners a lot, and the ball not coming on, the day goes by, it has become a very slower and slower. So coming into this game, they're missing out that, like I mentioned, one batter should have been out there in the top order, top 7 or 8, to hang around there, bat throughout the 20 overs. That would have been very crucial. That 20 runs missing out. I think that's the opportunity. They missed it.
Short delivery, hammers it behind square. That's a boundary. Anderson, she's on her way. Now that's not a delivery. You should be bowling when you're defending a total of 78 runs.
Yeah, that was short coming round the wicket, and she waited and waited and waited on it, and then nicely pulled it towards that gap. A deep mid-wicket fielder was running in, and the short Sportylk fielder as well, but his outfield is travelling very, very quickly. Field change coming in. Sportylk fielder drops back to the ropes, and the mid-on comes in. Another shot is delivery. I think the lengths, what I saw from the New Zealand bowlers, they bowled more fuller and got that ball to turn a lot, whereas the Sri Lankan spinners are bowling a little shorter around.
Yeah, just like that. If you did see how much that ball spun off the surface, now that'll tell you a story. So the New Zealanders really managed the situation well. 4 overs comes to an end, 15 for 1.
Well, passing cloud maybe. Don't want to get interrupted by that cloud. Ground staff getting ready, but I hope so that it will not split around here. The skipper brings herself into the attack. Satya Sandeepani. This is going to be crucial. She needs to step in. Another right arm off spinner. Going straight through, just a single though. Well, nicely handling the situation, isn't it? These two batters allowing the ball to come, waiting for that poor delivery to bounce it to the boundary, and then working those singles. Yeah, there's a huge wind and a breeze going across, so that's why the ground staff is ready.
Well, just for a moment, deciding to come down the track, but just the one run. Now, if you take a closer look at the total, 17 for 1 after 4.2 overs, they really shouldn't be worried at this stage, the New Zealand batters. Just a matter of working around the singles, wait for the bad delivery. But looking at how they have been working out there in the middle, they're happy to throw the kitchen sink at this stage, but you need to be very watchful, especially with rains maybe around the way. There will be the Duckworth Lewis, which might come into play as well.
Yeah, after this over, for sure. So what they would have thought, not to lose much wickets, just to hang around there. There's ample amount of balls remaining around, even to get the next remaining 61 runs. So after this over 15 overs, just 4 runs and over. Now the track once again. It's one bounce to the fielder at long on. I like to see that flight coming in, making sure the batter bats on the front foot, on a surface which is slower. It allows the batters making sure that mind game coming in with the flight. Another flat batted sweep shot towards mid-wicket, just a single though. 5 overs done. New Zealand women A, 20 for 1.
So 59 required, 90 deliveries. It seems like it's gonna be an interesting game. Clouds looming around the Rangiri Dambulla Stadium. Does not look that threatening, even though we see a couple of ground staff at the edge of the boundary. As Anderson scampers for a quick single.
You mentioned about the ground staff near the covers. They're weather experts, you know. They know what we don't know. They know what the weather forecast doesn't say. Off the back foot. This time gets it into the gap. Both the fielders diving on top of it. Gets another single, and this is pretty straightforward. And even off air we've spoken about it. What if Sri Lanka got 100, 110 runs?
Absolutely. The ifs and buts of cricket. Realistically, Sri Lanka should have targeted that. Seems like a very close call. It's got a very busy action, this Gimhani. The hustle and the bustle of her action, confusing the batsman.
Wrist spin, always very useful weapon to have in your arsenal. Shot outside the off stump, slammed it away, finds a fielder, direct hit. Would have been interesting. I certainly wouldn't mind having another look.
It's close call there. Good job by the fielder. Short and wide. Cutting towards that point cover region. I think she safely made it with that effort.
Dive definitely saved her, even if in case of a direct hit. Gimhani already been part of the national setup. Very promising youngster, developed her batting skills tremendously. That huge six won the game for Sri Lankans during the first T20. Too much room outside the off stump. Pierce the infield. That'll do the trick for the New Zealanders. Off the back foot. Although that came off Prue Catton's bat. Yes. Lovely. It's one thing you're getting a loose delivery. Whole different thing utilizing it. Catton does perfectly well.
Yes, short, asking for trouble. Catton placing it. This placid outfield doing the rest. Useful runs. It's very important in such low-scoring games that you minimize those loose deliveries. You don't want to give freebies to the opposition. You see a new bowler, Sachin Nisansala. Now, orthodox left-arm spin. Cut away towards deep point. Anderson crossing through for a single. For the batters, the Kiwi batters, ideally, I'm pretty sure the message must have been conveyed. Just bat out the overs. Don't worry too much about the scoring rate. Just bat out the overs.
Absolutely no doubts. Just be out there, enjoy yourself. As long as keep enough wickets in hand, you should be safe.
Two singles, the first two deliveries, exactly what the doctor ordered for New Zealand. That's the batter going deep to the crease, making use of that shorter length, struggling with the timing. The slowness of the wicket clearly in display there.
Sachin Nisansala bowled outstandingly well. Wasn't part of a one-day leg of the series. Coming into T20s, done exceedingly well. Slower through the air, slower off the pitch. Very familiar shot for Kate Anderson. Likes it there. Towards wide long on region, towards mid-wicket, square leg. That's a strong area. Really strong horizontal bat player.
Again, a poor delivery. Catton places it to the sweeper. One thing that was visible right throughout the first inning was that as the game progressed, as the ball got slightly older, the comparison or the variance in spin got larger. So that's an area that New Zealand has to focus on as well.
That's the reason why Anderson quite keen on picking up quick runs when the ball is new. Whenever opportunity provided, she went for it just like that. That one slightly quicker, went on with the arm. Excellent effort in the deep by Rashmika Sewandi. Sends in a very good vision. I'm thinking 2 was on. Rashmika did outstandingly well. So that's the completion of the 7:32 for 1.
So 47 needed of 78 deliveries. 9 wickets in hand. Should be a walk in the park in normal circumstances. However, safe to say that this is not your ideal or the conducive batting track that we all expected from a T20 game. However, it'll be interesting to see how the spin heavy tank of Sri Lanka, as you see the skipper into the tank.
I thought Sri Lanka didn't read the game well enough. They lost a few wickets earlier on. When there was time for them to dig deep, they just kept on going. We off air spoken about it, whether they'd thrown their wickets away. Yes, the pitch is playing its trick. It's your job to adjust yourself. Oh, lovely shot. Goes all the way, if I'm not mistaken. Let's wait for the umpire's confirmation. That's good cricket. Playing the field. Saw the fielder inside, mid-off. Gone aerial.
Absolutely spectacular. Going against the spin, the right arm off spinner coming into the right-handed batter. But how she gave herself room, got to the pitch of the ball, made use of the field. That was spectacular. The referral is being done. Seems like 4 is going to be signaled. However, the significant change that I've seen in the two teams in terms of batting is how the Kiwi batters have found out the field in the offside. They've gone offside. They've used that part of the field. That's an area that Sri Lanka never really managed to accomplish.
You always take a leaf out of opposition's book. New Zealand has done outstandingly well, played the field perfectly well. That boundary over the infield. Now all of a sudden we are starting to see a player down on the field. She goes down, Shashini. That's Chamodi Praboda. Oh, collision. I mean, very strong looking Devmi colliding against Chamodi Praboda. There can be only one winner in a game of rugby.
On a field of rugby, that would be called a hit. And if it was a hit, that's not an even game there.
Oh, must be painful. Just hoping there's nothing serious. Chamodi Praboda gone down awkwardly. This happens. Two fielders converging and they are giving, going through the concussion protocol. I never enjoys, seeing players getting injured.
They see a stretcher been taken out to the field. Seems like that might be it for her in terms of the game. But let's hope that she's well. We see some movement. Seems like she's okay. But precautionary sake, she will be taken out.
She's in pain. Oh, there you go. Must be muscle strain, or let's hope there's nothing serious. Outstanding young player, done beautifully well right throughout the one-day leg and right throughout the T20 leg of this series. New Zealanders, meanwhile, very keen on playing, finishing up on the higher note. Both. Oof. That's painful.
Oh, looks a sorry sight. It's an unfair comparison, as I said before. It's like a scrum off heading into the pack. Not the most suitable place to be.
And going up against the number 8. This is on, that's the normal speed. It looks even more dramatic.
Well, that's a sorry sight indeed. But these things happen in cricket. You can't really predict it. The right attention is given out to the player. Most importantly, you see the Kiwi physios and the doctors surrounding the player as well. It's important that the player gets faced there. We see everyone surrounding that area. It's important that the people that matter is around her, giving her the attention, and how soon they could get her out of the park. Anyway, Watkin had a decent start, but a falling stroke, stumped for 6 runs. Anderson and Catton so far understanding the conditions, manipulating the field well, and knowing what the target is, has done a really good job.
I thought they read the game really well. Even when they were bowling, slowed it down intentionally, making life difficult for the batters. This is bowling for Sri Lanka so far. The wicket taker, Chamodi Praboda, 2 overs, 7 for 1. Unfortunately, she is injured. Yeah, hoping that there's nothing serious. Immediate medical attention is given now. I have no doubts they'll be taking her for the medical checkups. 37 for 1 after 7.3 overs. New Zealanders marching on, looking good to win their first game in the T20 leg. Oh, not a good side if you're a cricket lover. Chamodi Prabodha stretched out of the playing field after that horrendous collision against Demi Vihanga by both the fielders converging on a ball.
Those are sights that we never like to see as cricket fans, followers. But hope all is well. And the game could proceed. Satya into her second over. So 37 for 1 New Zealand. A slight pause might have tempered the momentum a bit. T20 cricket is all about momentum, and that break may favor the Sri Lankans. You never know.
Satya gets a floater on the offside, finds a fielder. My mind immediately goes to, a few collisions in cricket, notable ones. Mamanatapattu, Brian Lara, and Justin Gillespie, Steve Waugh at Asgiria. Played hard but straight to the fielder.
Yes, collisions. There's plenty of them happen in cricket over the last decade or so, or even further than that. I'm pretty sure there would have been lots of incidences like that as we come to the end of the 8th over. 37 for 1 New Zealand. .37 for 1 in 8 overs. Anderson on 16, Catton on 15, partnership 29 of 32 balls. Sachini gonna start off a second over. See if Sri Lanka are really pushing for a win. They need to be a bit more aggressive with the field. Probably get a slip in. We've seen the ball spinning like a top here. Another extra being added to the total. No freebies. That should be the mantra for Sri Lanka.
Equally well played. Kate Anderson off the back foot. Read the trajectory of the delivery really well and not to pay for a single. As long as they have wickets in hand, it should be straightforward. They have 9 wickets in hand. Anderson looking fabulous, 17 of 22. And as I mentioned, Sri Lanka to stay in the hunt. Wickets, the
It's another very good single. They've been very subtle, as you mentioned, in how they use soft hands when needed, been aggressive when they had to. That's the difference that I've seen in this game from the two batting teams.
On that count, New Zealanders outsmarting Sri Lankans in the third T20 game. I thought, outsmarting them in their own game, in their own conditions. Gone hard. There you go, hard hands. Couldn't resist the temptation. Kate Anderson went for it. Found the outer half of the bat. Fielder makes no mistake. Satya Sandeepani strikes for Sri Lanka.
There we go. Just as we mentioned how good they were with manipulating the fields aggressively and defensively. A blunder made by Anderson. So Sachini, she gets her first wicket, and a ray of hope for Sri Lanka as we see the replay. Tossed up outside off stump, going for a massive hoik. Ended up getting a leading edge to short third man. Easy pickings there for Ashini.
Substitute fielder Ashini Thalagunia takes a good catch. Kate Anderson, no more. New Zealand 40 for 1 after 8.3.
So the new batter for the Kiwis is going to be Armstrong, who did exceptionally well with the ball. She seems like a thoroughbred when it comes to T20 cricket. At least her outlook seems so. Her bowling was exceptional. Seems like a top order batter. A definite knock on the door for the main team as well, maybe.
Bhumadi Betsara into the field. Plenty of substitutions, of course, for Sri Lanka. Young Chamodi Prabodha taken out of the field. That's well bowled. Angle takes it in line with the stumps. On a good length, very hard to work off. This is good bowling. Another player done outstandingly well for Sri Lanka. Sachin Inisansala coming into this game, coming into the T20 leg of the series. Beautifully worked away, let the ball come on to you, gets another single. Rotating strike, that's the name of the game, 41 for 2, as we are looking at the previous dismissal. Lovely delivery, bit of flight, and immediately purchase off the track. Ashini Thalagunia takes a simple catch.
From 66 required. 8 wickets in hand. Sri Lanka, the captain, would be eager, be very keen to get a couple of wickets. A couple of quick wickets now would mean that it won't be as easy as the Kiwis would think. As we see a change in bowling, Rashmika Sewandi brought into the attack.
Just as they say, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Rashmika into the attack. Punched away, straight to the fielder. I mean, you never know. Just as you mentioned, a wicket might bring in another wicket. Few good overs, few economical overs towards the latter part, especially after 15 overs, if the game goes towards that direction. So Sri Lanka, it's all up to them. Make something out of nothing. Down the leg side, freebie. They initially considering the possibility of the second, but the fielder, Vimoksha Balasuri in the deep, done a fantastic job. That, if I'm not mistaken, yes, that's Vimoksha Balasuri by the look of it.
Well, one thing's for sure, the Kiwi girls would love pace on the ball. We've seen how much batters have struggled against spin in this game. And now, in the 10th over, when we see a fast bowler, it would actually favor these batters unless she does a bit of pace variation.
Take them out of normal routine. They've been getting used to facing spin bowlers very well. You know, we mentioned about their soft hands, rotating strike. So something out of the box. It's all about experimenting. It could work. Struck well, sounded nice off the bat, but straight to the fielder for no run.
Decent start by Rashmika, conceding only 1 run of 4 deliveries. It's good to build up pressure, but hopefully, from a Sri Lankan perspective, pressure would end up in wickets. Now, that's what they should target.
Slower delivery, gone aerial for fair away of the distance. Straight to the fielder once again, a dot ball. Rashmika, you think this would go close to the 18th, 19th over?
Well, let's hope so. From the fans' perspective, from all of us over here, we would want to see an interesting game. There we go. Breaks the shackles, 4 dot deliveries. The last ball of the 10th over before the break. Catton gets a boundary.
So the bowling change, is it working for skipper Satya Sandipani? That was a freebie. In the slot, Catton says, thank you so much. Gone aerial intentionally, goes straight, picks up a vital boundary. New Zealanders marching on after 10:46 for the loss of 2 wickets.
So just 33 runs needed in 60 balls for New Zealand women to win this game. There are plenty of wickets remaining also in the 10 overs when the players hydrated themselves. They're 46 for 2. So Caden, 20 runs of just 23 deliveries. She's been very, very good. An outstanding performance from her on a surface like this, Saran. Very good afternoon once again to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rajiv. This is what we were talking about from the beginning. The more chances you give yourself, the more runs you will have on the surface. Now, take a closer look at her innings. 23 deliveries for her 20 runs. She has given a chance to spend some time out there in the middle. It's not an easy surface to work on. You need to do a little bit of hard work. You'll need to do a little bit of digging. And then you will have runs on this surface. So she has done it well. And comparing to how the Sri Lankan batters handle the situation, the New Zealand middle order, they have really stood up to the occasion. Full toss not arriving though.
A lot of flight coming in from Shachini there. Tossed up and then tipping it at the last moment, getting that inside edge. Lucky escape for Armstrong there.
Yeah, beautifully bowled. That's touch and go. We might come upstairs. Smart piece of glove work though. Let's take a closer look then.
TV umpire to director. We have our umpire's referral for a stumping. Start with front foot, please. It's a fair delivery. Side on angle for the stumping, please. Okay. Take it back. Take it back. Yeah. Roll forward now. Okay, keep rolling. Foot is grounded, grounded, keep grounded. Yeah, foot is grounded when the wicket is broken. I made my decision.
We're right on time. That foot popping up, but then bringing it down on time there. Yeah, like you mentioned, smart bit of glove work behind the stumps from Sumudu. But lovely bit of flight coming in from Sachini. I like that ball flighting, dipping, and then getting the bounce and turn off this surface, assisting the spinners much. But the slower you bowled, bring the batter into the front foot, that is where you can get effectiveness on the surface, and the batters will struggle more often. But if you bowl slower and drags it shorter, it allows the batter to go back on the back foot and bounce it anywhere you like.
Yeah, spot on, Rajiva. This has been the story of the day so far. There you go. That's what you were talking about. The shorter you bowl, plenty of time you'll have on this surface because the ball takes ages to arrive. 4 runs coming off over number 11. 50 on the board for the loss of 2 wickets.
.29 more needed, 54 balls remaining. So the last 3 overs which Sri Lanka A women's couldn't bat, if they would have added 20 more runs, how crucial should have been? So they will be back into the attack, picking up 3 wickets in the previous game. So if you if you make that at this stage run after 11 overs, Sri Lanka were at a similar stage with the runs, but the wickets column, they've lost 5 wickets. Well, some of the supporters out here, the young cricketers watching this game here at Dambulla, again dragging short. That's not the ideal length. If you see, if you can remember where Jess Watkin landed the ball. More fuller, got the ball to dip in and brought the batters into the front foot more often. So that is why she has got 4 wickets for just 4 runs. But the Sri Lanka spinners more, if you take on the pitch map, they've dragged it a little shorter.
There you go. Once again, it has been the same story. The slower you bowl, the more you bowl it up front, the ball will have lots of time to turn off the surface. There you go. The New Zealand team, the support staff, Probably some parents of these players enjoying themselves. Good to see that the New Zealand team are finishing things off on a positive note. There you go, a little bit of celebration.
Yeah, positive note. Things to take back home. They're flying out tomorrow. Traveling. Short delivery. Well, what happened there? I lost it, but Rashmika Sewan, they didn't come towards the catch. Whether she missed out on it. It was a short delivery. And yes, she stopped at the last moment. Was that an opportunity, Iran? For sure.
Oh, another chance. Goes a begging. Sumudu Nisansala. She has been absolutely brilliant behind the stumps, but not on this occasion. 4 more runs given away. And coming back to that previous point, Rajavi, you're not going to win this game by defending the total. You need wickets. You need to dive forward and let the boundary go if you miss the catch.
Yeah, that's a clearly a 4 diving effort from Pies given by the umpire. Yes, it's a boundary clearly. So 12 done, 58 for 2.
It has been a decent partnership. Look at the run rate. In fact, the required run rate, 2.63. Ain't a problem at this stage. A good little partnership though. 18 of 20. So they are handling it really smart, the New Zealand batters. They're taking it quiet in the simple way of doing things. It's great to see the game awareness.
Sachini into her last over. Just conceding 13 runs, picked up a wicket. Has been very economical. Context of the game, yes, very good spell on the surface, yes, but the spinners, I reckon, Iran. Oh, lovely delivery. That's the line, that's the length, that's how you get that ball to spin. Dipped it nicely. Deserves a wicket for her effort coming into this game. Armstrong, the batter dismissed there. Look at that flight over the eye line, dipping it nicely. Easy pickings, easy stumping for Smudu.
Dancing shoes on, throwing the kitchen sink, missing it completely. Bella Armstrong departs for 6. A short stay though, 58 for 3.
So third wicket falling there. Armstrong getting out stump off the bowling of Sachini, picking up her second wicket. New batter Hannah Rowe.
Yeah, beautifully done.
We'll take a look at that dismissal in the previous delivery from Sachini. Nice bit of pace. Bowled it really, really slower as soon as she saw the batter coming down the track. And a lot of bounce coming in, and she's bowling very, very good lines into the last over. And this is more clearly you can see how the ball dipped in and then getting the bite off the surface. A lot of turn coming in, playing for a cross-battered shot there. Armstrong. Well, Rover, she's off the mark with that single, but very, very good over so far from Sachin, isn't it? And a very good spell Rather, she's trying hard alongside the other bowlers, but she's been rewarded with it around with those two crucial wickets.
Yeah, she has been spot on with the ball in hand, given the ball a lot of space to talk off the surface. Absolutely brilliant piece of bowling. Unfortunately, not the kind of total. Once again, dancing shoes on. Oh, spills it. That's disappointing.
Well, that's a knock-on. Well, you can't do such mistakes. Disappointed face from Watsala as well. Tossed up delivery once again. Caden going for a lofted on drive. Should have had that. Easy dolly. So that ends the spell for Sachini. 4 overs, 2 for 14. Should have been 3 for 14. 11 dot balls. Brilliant spell. So Pramudi, the concussion player, coming in for Chamudi Praboda. Pramudi Metsera off break. And earlier with that incident coming in, with the concussion protocol coming into place, nowadays that's really important when you have reserve players named in for concussion. So you need to have a similar match of a player. So Chamudi Praboda is a spinner, so spinner being introduced as a concussion player. Misfield there. Yeah, going for the second run. Yes, indeed. Going for the second run with that throw coming in. 2 simple runs.
You need to be spot on, especially in the outfield. Take a closer look at that again. There you go. Those need to stay. But good game awareness. Look at that. Coming back for the second run. Beautiful delivery. Bullseye. Well, she isn't letting Chamudi Praboda's absence look like the Sri Lankans are missing it.
Well, you are not in the part of the first 11 team and then you get the opportunity. This is how you reward yourself. Inside edge. And Hannah Rowe has to walk back. And Pramudi picking up her first wicket in the second delivery. Hannah Rowe departs for 3. New Zealand women's A. 61 for 4.
$18 runs required of 40 deliveries. Well. 4 wickets down. I don't think we are going to see a twist in the tail, but this game, you really can't keep it out. It's a game of uncertainty. Things could change in a couple of deliveries. This is beautiful bowling, though. She's really flighting it up, inviting the batter to play off the front foot, letting the ball talk off the surface. Smart bowling, I'd call it, though. PJ Watkins. There you go, once again, inside edge.
Well, she's bowling at a very, very good length, where the batter comes on the front foot, getting that ball to turn. And there she not afraid to flight the ball up. Yes, she has that confidence now, picking up a wicket also in her first over. Yeah, it was a foolish delivery, got the inside edge and then drags on to the stumps. Oh, lovely ball. Almost another wicket for her. Brilliant. Inside edge, could have dragged it towards the stumps. In the meanwhile, Watkins, she's off the mark. Not a convincing way though. 14 done, 62 for 4. So 17 more needed with 6 overs to spare. 36 balls remaining. So I repeatedly talk about this, that 3.1 overs, that 20 runs or 15 more extra runs, if they could have batted Sri Lanka A in the first innings, that would have been very crucial in this game. I mean, for a fact on this surface, it has become very slower and slower, spin friendly, a lot of turn coming in. It's very hard for the batters to hang around there, but Keaton is the only batter who is among the 20s from both teams. She got a live, yes, from Vatsala at mid-on after dropping that catch, but now she has learned from the mistakes. Now she's just dealing with the singles and working it nicely, anchoring the innings in this run chase. One batter who should have been out there in the Sri Lankan innings, just like Keaton.
There you go. Spraying down the leg side. Absolutely, there should have been one batter who should have bat through the innings, anchor the innings, try to be out there for 20 overs. Trying for a slider, getting it all wrong there. But Keaton has been absolutely brilliant. She has been reading the game well, and she has held on. She has played that anchor role, helped the New Zealanders to chase down this total.
Yeah, I mean, she has adjusted herself onto this surface. When you have to adjust yourself in different surfaces and then executing yourself in a proper manner. Oh, switch it on. Yeah, just a single. Will that be given leg byes? Yes, leg byes given by umpire Deepa Gunawardena. So all in all, well, New Zealand needs another just 13 more runs with 5 overs after this delivery. With 6 wickets in hand, it's a walk in the park, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a couple of shots away now. But still, I'm pretty sure they are not going to take any chances at this stage. 15 overs done, with 5 overs left. New Zealand 66 for 4.
Well, it's been proven tougher than we expected. 66 for 4. And Sri Lanka, just a moment ago, dropped a sitter. And this is the stage where experts, the viewers, the cricket fans, all discussing what if. 20 more runs. Try to come down the track. Pramodi gets an opportunity. I thought few players deserves an opportunity to be in the middle and, have few matches. It's all part of their development. Samati Praboda is out of the field after that huge collision. Pramodi gets an opportunity to showcase her skill set. Down the track. Oh, not too far away from the fielder. Reaching the field on the first bounce. Very interesting stage, Shashrika.
Yes, spot on. What if is the biggest question that we all have here. But I think it boils down to the strategy that has been placed from the outset, understanding what the conditions were from the outset as the next ball has been hoiked towards long on, crossed through for a single. The key thing is what type of message have these players got, especially the Sri Lankan girls when they went to bat in. Were they told to play the normal game, or were they told to assess the conditions, grind out, get to 90, get to 100, see what it is?
Even on a good track, when you lose 2 or 3 wickets on a trot, you generally bob down for at least an over or 2, get a partnership. But that didn't really happen. Every batter just following the same patterns, paying the price, and to an extent, we started to wonder whether they are throwing their wickets. Still in with a chance. 2.54 is the required run rate. Never an issue. All that matters, how many wickets Sri Lankans could take. Down the track and misses it. Just as we speaking about taking wickets, young Pramodi gets her first. What a moment.
Absolutely unnecessary as far as the Kiwis are concerned. Got the set batter on the other side, but everyone else has been very poor with the options that they've taken. Watkins follows in the same fashion, playing an unnecessary stroke, charging down the track. The length not the most suitable to use her feet. The wicketkeeper does the rest. And yes, the 6th wicket down for the Kiwis. So the 5th, 68 for 5, New Zealand. Of 25 deliveries with 5 wickets in hand. So the pressure's on. Unfortunately, the required total, if it was just a tad, maybe 10 more runs. That's what Sri Lanka's thinking now. 10 more runs. But guess what? They're ready for the fight. The girls are really up and roaring in the middle.
Wicketkeeper batter Kate gagging into the crease. Short of a length, misses the outside edge, not too far away. That's how the previous wicket have fallen. Very good piece of spin bowling. Enough revolutions. Tossed it up and temptation. Couldn't resist it. Nisansala, excellent day behind the stumps.
Great bit of cricket there by Sri Lanka. The last phase of cricket has been beneficial for them. Satya.
Once again off the back foot. They've been providing too many opportunities for the New Zealanders to play on the back foot. Makes it all that easier. Just about bowling on a good length area, driving the batter forward. That's how Sri Lankans got few stompings, had batters in trouble. Satya Sandeepani, skipper, never afraid of tossing it up. Very cunning operator, we already know that. And, wicket or two here, set cat amongst the pigeon.
So the skippers brought the field up for the new batter in gagging. He's got the long on fielder to the circle at mid-on. Only 2 fielders out there. As sweepers, 1 at deep mid-wicket. Bit of confusion. No harm done. 1 at deep mid-wicket, 1 at deep square leg. The most obvious places where the ball would travel. Right-hander facing the right arm off spinner.
On the hindsight, it's very pleasing to see Sri Lankan young women fighting hard. That's down the track. Going for a single. A direct hit, but the batter definitely made her ground.
There we go. The quick attempt. A bit of fielding. Direct hit, but no damage done as far as New Zealand is concerned. A good run. Well judged. So the required target now is 9 runs. Catton, who's on 27, played a very mature inning.
Now the tossed up delivery on her pads. She was the key. She understood exactly how to bat. Got a single, moves to the other end, keeping strike. Provided an opportunity, Sri Lankans not taken. They are paying a very heavy price. 71 for 5, just 8 more runs remaining. Short of a length, straight to the fielder. So Sri Lankans taking it deep after 17-71 for 5. Eight of 18. During the previous stint, I asked you a question about whether this will go beyond the 17th over. You were right about that. 18th over just about to start. Still anybody's game.
So Gimhani to begin a second over. Usually these low scoring games are quite interesting. And this is yet another game. That show that's lifted towards the long on region. Close call, but Catton has been in control right throughout the inning, placing it just wide of the bowler.
If I'm not mistaken, during the third one-dayer, Kate Gagging batted so well, scored something close to 30 runs, kept New Zealanders afloat. Oh, that's a good delivery on a Yorker length. Gagging just managed to bring the bat down right at the nick of time. Take a look at it. Lovely drift. Just managed to escape. Just what the doctor ordered. Straight to the fielder. Little hesitation. Sri Lankans need to be on the alert.
Single digit, 7 more remaining, 15 balls to go in the game.
Oh, almost bounced twice. I thought the batter played it just before that. Not the best piece of bowling, but desired result. Take a look at it. Right along the ground. Just played it before touching the ground, which makes it a legal delivery. Oh, misses it. You got to stop them. You got to stop them. Only 6 runs to get. Imagine.
Well. Catton getting off strike earlier on in the over, and the Sri Lankans from there onwards have managed to get in a few dot balls. That's a very, very good over by Gimhani. So 18 completed, 73 for 5.
Six of 12 is the equation. They have as many as 5 wickets in hand. Should be comfortable enough, but cricket is a funny game. You never know. If Sri Lanka can pick up a wicket or 2, certainly will set the cat amongst the pigeons. 73 for 5. Gagging, very capable batter. So is Catton, 29 of 37.
The key here would be how long can Sri Lanka keep Catton away from strike. So they've got a very aggressive attacking field for the new batter, trying to stop that single. They understand that more strike that Gagging is on would be added pressure on Catton.
They bring in more fielders inside the 25-yard circle. Here's Devmi. Almost, paved way for a dismissal. Just managing to bring the bat down. Pitched outside the leg stump. Very, very close. Very, very close. Inside edge onto the pads. Gone area land. There are no fielders. They brought the fielder in. Paying the price. Boundary. Just 2 runs away now.
I think Sri Lanka had to take that risk, and so did the batter. She took the risk, went with the spin, over that short square leg fielder. And as we all know, the outfield did the rest for the batter. So the target ever so close now with 2 runs to get. I think they're going to bring in all the fielders into the circle, which means that she would have to go aerial now.
Just as you mentioned, they got to take that risk. Just 6 runs off 12 deliveries. Only way they could stay in the game. Short enough. Away from the outside edge. Another dot ball. There will be questions asked. There will be would have beens, should have beens. Toss it up. Slammed it down the ground. Just a single. Scores are level.
That's great commitment by the fielder mid-on. She did a great job knowing there's only 2 runs to get, just to ensure that this game goes on a bit further.
Prue Catton does the job. Very smart inning. They knew it's just a matter of keeping enough wickets in hand. New Zealand finishing the series on a higher note, just as we expected at the beginning. They knew their pride is at stake, having done so well in the third one-day game, winning it by a huge margin against a home side. And the experts, be up at the comment box, believe that New Zealanders, more conducive, more, finding at their comfort playing T20 cricket, but that wasn't the case. Sri Lanka stood up very strong, winning first 2 games, bagging the series, but I thought Sri Lanka's effort today was a little disappointing to say the least. They pretty much took the foot off the accelerator, let it go, let it off the hook. And New Zealand needing no second invitation, winning the toss, deciding to bat first. I thought not enough runs. You and I spoken about getting close to 100.
Well, that's that. A good finish for the Kiwi girls, winning by 5 wickets. The final T20. So you see the usual proceedings happening after a game of cricket. Congratulations, commiserations. You've got it all. Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. That's how the game goes. It's been an exceptional tour here for the Kiwi girls. They've done well. They've had a learning curve. So have the Sri Lankan girls. So it's overall been a very good gesture by Sri Lanka cricket.
Initially, during the first 2 one-dayers, Sri Lanka, I thought, batted well, going past 200 during the first game, got close to 200. But New Zealand came back very strong during the third one-day. Complete the opposite. Sri Lanka started off strong. This is the batting card. Very smart knock by Prue Catton. Responsible knock, 30 of 38. Anderson was looking good, and at this stage they were cruising along. Kate Gagging played brilliantly. I thought that boundary over square leg region served them so well during the latter part. 7 extras, 18.5 overs, 79 for 5. New Zealand winning the game by 5 wickets. A consolation victory. Sri Lankans already backed the series 2 games to 1. As we are looking at the bowling card, a few exceptional bowling performances. Unfortunately, Shamadi couldn't finish her spell. 2 overs, 7 for 1. The other wicket taker, Sashini, picked up 2 for 14. I thought Pramodi coming into the side, bowling 2 overs, picking up 2 wickets for 5 runs. Outstanding. I mean, when you get the opportunity, grab them by both hands. That's the way to go. All in all, few players from the young under 19 setup made an impression. picture of surroundings. I'm sure we are ready for the innings highlight of the New Zealanders. Sri Lanka knew it's going to be tough. That's the first dismissal. Watkin out for not too many. That's her, try and tested playing pattern. Prue Catton played outstandingly well, isn't it?
Absolutely. She was the anchor of the inning. She understood the conditions while the others tried to accelerate but not really succeeding too much. I felt that right throughout both innings, she was the only batter who really understood the true nature of the surface. Couple of lucky chances for her as well. But as we saw, wickets tumbling from the other end, and just Catton kept it going from one end, and finally gagging with that knockout punch that ensured the Kiwi girls went over the line.
Just did enough. Smart knock. That was what missing for Sri Lankans. All in all, very interesting series. The match summary comes up. Sri Lanka once again winning the toss, deciding to bat first. I thought very disappointed. Just 78 runs, not too many big scores. Few batters set. 16 for Satya, Kavindi 15, Nisansala 15, Piyumi, no one got going. On the other hand, Watkin 4 for 4, outstanding spell of bowling, understood the conditions, did what was required. Knight 2 for 5, very smart, operated downs, 1 for 5 coming into the side. Watkins 1 for 20. New Zealand knew it's going to be tough. Catton, outstanding knock under pressure, 30 of 38 deliveries. Anderson, useful contribution. For Sri Lanka, Sachini picking up 2 for 14, Pramudi 2 for 5. Chamudi Praboda 1 for 7 wasn't enough. It was, a pretty low score. Sri Lankans found it very tough to prevent it. And Sri Lankans, disappointingly, not doing too well during the third T20I. New Zealand women winning the game by 5 wickets. Post-match presentation will be ready in a short while. We'll take a short break and come back after that. to RDICS Dambulla. Sri Lanka winning the T20 series 2-1. New Zealanders winning the final T20. Post-match presentation about to commence. Let's go straight down and join Iran Karunaratne.
Congratulations to Team New Zealand for managing to pull off a fabulous win in this final T20 game to finish the series off on a positive note. And also congratulations to the Sri Lankan team for sealing this series on a fabulous win by winning the series on 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome all of you to the post-match presentation of this final T20 game here at Dambulla. Right then, before we begin the awards presentation, we would like to thank Sri Lanka Cricket for their planning and efforts in organising this tour for the young cricketers who are tapping on the future doors of cricket. And also we would like to thank ThinkCube, the event rights partner, for their support. And also, finally, a big thank you to our broadcasting partners, Talent TV, TV Supreme, Fan Code, Sporty.lk, for bringing the live action to the fans across worldwide. Right, first of all, let me introduce the presentation party for the day. Our match referee for the T20 game, Mr. Mangala Jayasena. Let me call upon the losing captain, the Sri Lankan skipper, Satya Sandipani, to come forward to have a quick word with us, please. සත අවසාන තරගය පරාජයට පත් වුණා. මොකද උනේ පන්දුට පහර දෙනකොට ප්‍රමාණවත් ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාවක් ලකුණු පුවරුවට දාගැනීමට අපොහසත් වුණාද?
ඔව් අපි ටාගට් කරපු ගානට වඩා මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් අඩුයි. අද විකට් එකත් එක්ක අපිට 100ක් 110ක් වගේ තිබ්බනම් ඊට වඩා හොඳ ෆයිට් එකක් දෙන්න ඕන කියලා. මම හිතන්නේ තරතිරුව දිහා බලනකොට දඟ කැවීමක් සහිත ටිකක් වේගයෙන් පන්දුව ඉදිරියට ආවේ නැහැ. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ පිටිකරණියන් ඉදිරියට පන්දුවට පහර දෙන්න යනකොට කොහොමද ප්ලෑන් එකක් තිබුණාද නිව්සීලන්ත ස්පිනර්ස්ලාට පහර දෙන්න? ඔව් අපි ඇත්තටම මේ ප්ලෑන් කරේ දෙපැත්තේ බැට් කරමු කියලා. මේ විකට් එක ස්ලෝ නිසා. තරඟාවලිය දෙකට එකක් විතර ජයග්‍රහණය කරනවා. මොකද හිතන්නේ අනිකුත් ක්‍රීඩිකාවන්ගේ දක්ෂතාවයන් සහ මේ සම්පූර්ණ තරඟාවලිය පිළිබඳව? ටීම් එකක් ඉදිරියට මම හිතන හොඳට කරා කියලා. නිව්සීලන්ත ටීම් එකත් හොඳ ෆයිට් එකක් දුන්නා. ටීම් එක යුනිට් එක තිබ්බ නිසා හොඳට කරන්න පුළුවන්. ස්තුතියි සුබපතනවා තරඟාවලියේ ජයග්‍රහණයට. Well, that's the Sri Lankan skipper. Next, I would like to call upon the New Zealand skipper, Jess Watking, to come forward, please. And also, she will be collecting the Player of the Match award for her brilliant performance of 4 for 4 with the ball in hand. Just congratulations on winning the Player of the Match and winning the final game as well. What are your takes of this final game here today?
I think today we finally put a great bowling performance on display. I think we've learned a lot coming here. I think we've been challenged in lots of different ways, and I think today we really nailed our length, which we're really happy about.
What do you think about your personal performance? You took the new ball in hand and also finished things off at the latter part of the innings, 4 for 4. If you could take us through your performance today.
I think I was just lucky that I got the opportunity to open the bowling, and it helps being captain. I can make that decision. But I think the wickets today, that it's quite spin friendly. So I think it was just a good day to be a spinner, really.
And one word about the hospitality of the Sri Lankans.
Yeah, I just want to say before, I think like a big thank you to the Sri Lankan team. You guys have been amazing. You've really challenged us this tour. And also the hospitality is unreal. We love this country, and we've had great liaisons, great staff that have been helping us. So thank you very much for putting the tour on. The group really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and good luck for the future.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the New Zealand skipper, Jess Watking. And also she wins the Player of the Match for her brilliant performance with the ball in hand. And finally, I would like to call upon the Sri Lankan skipper, Satya Sandipani, once again to collect the winning trophy of the T20 series, winning it by 2-1. Congratulations to Team Sri Lanka and the skipper. That's it from the presentation party. Back to the Combox.
Thank you, Iran. It was a fascinating series. New Zealanders, it was a learning curve for them. For the first time, they are touring Sri Lanka A. Good to see Sri Lankans winning the T20 leg of the series. So it's been a mixed bag when it comes to the Sri Lankans. It's all part of the player development. We've got to thank Sri Lanka Cricket for organizing these sort of tours. Sri Lanka, they had the upper hand, winning the first 2 games, bagging the series. But when it comes to third T20 game, they haven't done well enough. But that's how the cricket goes. The champions, 2-1 against a very solid New Zealand outfit. Skipper led the side really well. Team management, coaching staff, they play out their cards really nicely. And all in all, for the development of women's cricket in Sri Lanka, this tour serves really nicely. Few players raised their hands up, performed outstandingly well. The likes of Sanjana Kawindi, household name by now, Dembu Vihanga, Rashmi Sewandi. And today, few youngsters got the opportunity with the Alvis, Pamudi Metsara. And there's no doubt we get to see these young girls performing outstandingly well in the international scene. This is a dress rehearsal. This is the future. We've identified few players. They've done so well. And I'm sure the years to come, especially the Sri Lankans under 19 players, they took the opportunity, grabbed the opportunity by both hands. Devi Vihanga, today done well, not too much with the bat, another bright young talent. And the likes of Rashmika Sewandi, bundle of energy, fast bowling all-rounder, so crucial when it comes to wide ball cricket, developing cricketers to represent the women's outfit, wear the national colours. It's been a fantastic coverage courtesy of T20.lk as we are looking at match summary. Winning the toss, batting first, Sri Lanka all out for 78. Top scorer, Kavi in the end, Nisansala 15 runs each, Satya with 16, Watkin 4 for 4, outstanding spell of bowling. And in reply, 18.5 overs it took. It wasn't all that easy, but New Zealand did well enough to get over the line thanks to Prue Catton, 30 runs of 38 deliveries. Played the cards really nicely. Sachini 2 for 14. New Zealand Day winning the game by 5 wickets. But the series wrapped up by the Sri Lankans 2-1 already. It's been a fantastic stay here in Dambulla. Fantastic live coverage. We're reaching out to you on a wider spectrum. Talent TV, TV Supreme, on Dialogue TV, on Pure TV, on FanCode, on Sandbricks, as well as Sporty.lk with the production and taking these pictures across the world except Sri Lanka and India. All in all, the viewers enjoyed a fantastic white ball series. This is the future for Sri Lanka and this is the future for New Zealanders. Hopefully, these young players will shine in the international stage in the years to come. And as you all know by now, very exciting series coming up. India A will be here. Afghanistan A, they will be here. And they're taking up against Sri Lanka A. Fascinating tri-series coming up right here from Dambulla. We are hoping to catch you with live action. Right now, on behalf of the production, engineering and technical team of Sporty.lk as well as Talent TV, we take the opportunity of thanking each and everyone for joining us with this live coverage. We will be meeting you with exciting sporting action pretty soon. Until then, stay safe. It's goodbye from Dambulla.